Hey LinkedIn, today I wanted to go over a exercise that I did with my business model group last year around the subject of growth. And the premise behind the meeting was figuring out how to prepare for 10x growth or how I would accomplish 10x growth in my business. So what I did was I came up with a subset of questions designed inside the business model that I went through to really make sure whether or not the people, process, and systems were in place in order to manage that uptick in growth in a company. So what I did is I went through a Canvas, the Canvas tool, and I asked these 9 questions. Now there was a little bit more questions above and beyond that, but I want to stick with the 9 core questions. So first thing I asked was, what key partnerships or partnerships would you have to nurture or build in order to manage the 10x growth? Second, what would your key activities look like in a 10x environment where your business is growing 10x? Would it be managing, more delegating, more training, more hiring? What would it be in that environment? How would you change your value proposition? So originally your value proposition could have been a lot of unscalable things. How do you change that value proposition so that you can manage the uptick in growth? Customer relationship, how would your customer engagement change because you're so busy and all the other things are in place? How would that change? Would you need to hire different staff? Would you need to adopt new technology? How would that work in your particular business? What type or types of customers would you have to service? Now, in order to have 10x growth, let's say you're trying to accomplish 10x growth, what type of customers would you have to serve? What type of customers would you have to let go? It's good to think about these things prior, then you're ready to design your business model around 10x growth. What key resources would you need? Now, some resources have a capacity, a threshold to which you can use them. So what key resources would you need in this type of environment where your business is rapidly growing or your ambition is to rapidly grow your business? What key resources would you need to 10x your business? Thanks. What new channels would you have to use or old channels would you have to let go in order to manage that growth? Cost structure, what costs would be associated with growth? More employees equals more overhead equals more insurance you have to pay, taxes you have to pay, everything else rolled into it. In a 10x environment, what new costs would occur or what costs could you diminish based on purchasing power or whatnot? So think about it in that case. So if you're a solopreneur or you manage a 300 to 1,000 person company, what costs would be associated with the 10x growth? And the last, what new revenue streams would you have to produce? What new revenue would you have to think of in order to manage that 10x growth? Is it another revenue stream? Is it letting go of another revenue stream so that you can add a new revenue stream, mainly because the activity is more productive? So what are those questions? Feel free to add any of those questions. I just wanted to be very brief, bright, and try to find as much value as I can to provide the community. Other than that, have a great Thursday. Bye.